getting that Verizon 12 car right at the front today.
A lot of questions this morning in the drivers' meeting about the double file restarts. You're starting up front. People at home need to realize you guys don't have bumpers. What is your concern about today's race?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're all professional drivers, and we're trying this double file thing. So, you know, we just need to be sensible in the first corner, and obviously there's going to be a lot of cars in a small space. And, you know, like you say, we can't bump. We're going to knock wings off and, you know, cut tires. We got to be smart about it.
All right, Will Power starts from the pole once again. Marty?
And as we take a look at the timeline on Team Penske, 7 open wheel championships when they dominated in the 77 through 85 range.
And when I joined the Indycar series over in 1990, Penske was the team to beat because they had a situation where they were very, very strong. But one open wheel championship in 11 years, they had the poles, they had the speed, maybe not all the championships.
Came back to win back-to-back with Gilles de Ferran in 2000, 2001. But then another bit of a drought. Since then, only one championship back in 06 with Sam Hornish Jr. behind the wheel, and that's one in the last 9 years. All right, let's zero in on one of the, well, this is turn 11 at this track, and this has been a bugaboo for a number of drivers. In fact, Dario Franchitti had a big incident the other day. This morning, it was Sebastian Bourdais. These are 7-time champions between the two of them, and this is how wicked this corner can be.
Well, we talked about that this track has no forgiving because of the walls, but you're going through here at 140 miles an hour, and for Bourdais, a guy that came out of Formula One, probably no room for error. He knows he made a mistake. He was waving to the marshals because the car was on fire, and in this scenario right now, for Dale Coyne Racing, a very tough run.
And that second car, James Jakes, crashed on the same lap in a separate incident. So that is the 2 team cars. And Vince, give us an update.
Well, Dale Coyne, I tell you what, lightning striking twice in the same lap of practice for Dale Coyne and his team. Sebastian Bourdais will not start this race. The 4-time open wheel champ has suffered significant damage to his race car. It was destroyed, engine, gearbox, tub, the whole bit. That car is awash. Bourdais will not start. The other car for Dale Coyne, James Jakes. I spoke with Jakes just a moment ago. He said the team is thrashing to try to get it together. It is not out here on pit lane, but they are still trying to get the car together and get it out here so it can start. Jake said, I think they're going to make it, but I'm not sure. We'll keep you updated as they get ready for the green.
All right, thanks, Vince. A real tough break for that team. How about looking a bit to the future? Marco Andretti, of course. There's Grandpa Mario. He's looking for a big year. And Graham Rahal in his best ride in a couple of years. He's with the Ganassi camp. And Mike Conway coming back from that horrific crash at Indianapolis. He's looked really good so far this weekend. Stay with us.
ESPN's coverage of the Honda Grand Prix of St. Petersburg on ABC. Brought to you by Honda, the engine supplier for the Izod IndyCar Series. Izod, the official apparel sponsor of the Izod IndyCar Series. And Firestone, the first name in Indy racing.
It began in 1911, and this Memorial Day, the tradition continues with the 100th anniversary of the Indianapolis 500. Defending champion Dario Franchitti sets the standard in racing, while superstar Elio Castroneves eyes win number 4. And Danica looks to rewrite the story of men and their machines. 100 years of risk, 100 years of reward, and every driver's dream to win the greatest spectacle in racing. And it'll be happening on ABC May 29th at 11 a.m. And talk about some past winners. How about 3-time winner Lone Star JR Johnny Rutherford drives the pace car for the Izod IndyCar Series. Good to see you. And Bobby Rahal, now of course a team owner, the 1986 Indianapolis 500 champion. And all you have to say is Mario, and everybody knows exactly who you're talking about. He's driving the Izod IndyCar 2-seater. That's why he's dressed up in a fire suit. In fact, let's flash back to 1969. What a great moment as Andy Granatelli, the car owner, as they celebrated. And of course, another driver, Bobby Rahal, and both of them have a grandson and a son looking to make their name. Marco Andretti is your race leader. The 19-year-old is going to win at Infineon.
Great job, kid. Great job.
That was big. That was a big win.
Here comes Graham Rahal. He's going to say, hey, Pop, look at me. I'm going to win in my first IndyCar start. Say hello to a new star in the IndyCar Series.
Part of the extended team for Chip Ganassi this season features this driver, Graham Rahal. And Graham, you've bounced around a little bit the last couple of years. How important is it to you to be in a stable situation with a team like Ganassi?
Well, I mean, it's great to be here, and obviously with the support of Service Central, we are here. They're the ones that made this possible. But you know, I hope this is for the long term. Really, this is our first weekend as a team. We've only been around for a couple of months now, but I mean, as a driver, you always have to be in a stable spot. There's so many other things in life that are constantly going around in circles that to be in one place is what you need. And so I hope certainly as this year goes on, we can maximize that.
You won this race in your debut in this series in 2008. You sat on the pole here the following year. How does that past success generate confidence for you as you head into today?
Well, I mean, St. Pete's always been an awesome place for me. You know, to get my first win, as you said, my first pole here. It's a great event, great atmosphere, great town. You know, certainly I hope it brings me luck today. We're starting 12th, so we got some work to do. But I think we've got a good car. We can stay clean. This whole double wide restarts and everything, this is going to be pretty interesting. So we got to keep our nose clean and we'll be fine. Just when I guess lap 90 comes, we'll go racing.
Graham Rahal comes out of the 6th row today, Marty.
Well, Graham, who calls New Albany, Ohio home, just a suburb of Columbus, was the youngest race winner in series history, also the youngest to sit on the pole. Won here his only win back in 2008, but he did win earlier this year at the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Now, another young man we were really impressed with this weekend, that man right there, Mike Conway. The last time we saw him was at the Indianapolis 500 in what was one of the worst crashes ever. In that corner, that's Mike Conway going hard into the net, and you can see that the catch fence did its job. Horrible impact. Wow. And there he is with the helmet on, getting ready to go racing again, and he has been performing well.
Very well, and I spoke with Michael Andretti, his new team owner. He said when you went to the first test, he was wondering whether he'd be physically and mentally fit. And Michael, a past driver himself, obviously said, I was impressed with how focused this guy was. He's going to win races for us this year.
All right, you've heard everybody talking about the double file restarts. Let's explain exactly what the difference is going to be for everybody.
Well, as a driver, I think we love the old era where we came down single file. You could accelerate well before the last turn, get a lead on the guy behind you, and when the green flag flew, you could pass at any time. Now with this double file restart, you have to line up 2 by 2 all the way through. There is now an acceleration line that the driver has to wait for before he can turn around and have the opportunity to accelerate. We're going to mark this line right here. It's actually just forward of the start-finish line, about 200 yards, and the line itself will actually be the acceleration line for the driver. So that's one line you have to worry about. The second information package here is you cannot pass until you reach the start and finish line. So 3 different things that we've had from previous, and it will be interesting to see if all these drivers can process all this information and get it right.
And the big question is, do you like it?
I like it because it's going to create some passing opportunities. Drivers love starts because you have the opportunity to pass people. It's a dangerous time, though. So now we're going to have it on the restarts. Yes, you have an opportunity to pass. Like Will Power said, maybe we're going to have some wings and some contact. This is not a contact sport with our cars, but I think it's going to turn into that today.
Well, let's find out what the drivers think. We asked them.
Change is always good, you know, and I think we should try. Some days going to benefit me, maybe some other days won't benefit me.
It'll cause for some action, and there'll be things that happen, but we need to do something to spice it up.
If you're leading a race, you'd much rather have a single file restart. You get the jump. You got to approach it like the start. You know, you're always a bit tentative, a bit careful. If you're in P5 or P6 or somewhere in the middle of the pack, you have a good chance to make up a few positions on restarts.
It's going to add some excitement, but we got to be careful of this whole cautions breed cautions thing. We're just going to have to, you know, have our heads screwed on tight and hopefully come through with all 4 wheels on the car and maybe a position or 2 in front of where we were.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of restraint from everybody.
We're all professionals, supposedly, and I think we can make it work.
If you're looking for a place to vacation, come down in March when we're here for the IZOD Indycar Series. St. Petersburg, just a beautiful spot, as we have had great weather all weekend long, and yeah, our crew was even out building a little sandcastle. Good job, guys. And the fastest drivers in the IZOD IndyCar Series getting ready for the command to start engines. We can tell you that we saw James Jakes' car being rolled out. It is right there. And now let's talk about the fact, what's it like to be climbing into a car that hasn't turned a wheel and you're about to go race?
Well, first off, because it's a backup car, he will start at the back of the field. But for a driver, you like the comforts of your primary car. The seat is perfect. The belts fit well. Your